Welcome to Mystery Pinball Theater 3000. I'm Manu, aka MPT3K, and I just got back from the Jersey Jack Pinball media event where they debuted their brand new table, as of the time of this recording at least, Avatar, The Battle for Pandora. And this is a new table designed by Mark Seiden. So full disclosure, they brought out a bunch of media creators, a bunch of pinball content creators, including myself, and paid for it, and hotels and flights and all this stuff. So that was all taken care of so that we come out and take a look at the games. Of course, our opinions are our opinions, and Jersey Jack didn't ask for any kind of, pre-advanced knowledge of videos or anything like that. They just were like, come on down, check out our game because we think it's a killer. And I won't bury the lead, it's a beautiful game. So let's head on into the theater and see some of the stuff that I shot for this video. So the day started awesome. We all showed up at Jersey Jack Pinball, 10 o'clock in the morning, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to see some Avatar action. I got to see a bunch of cool content creators, including a couple of my buddies, which is Erica from Erica's Pinball Journeys, Being Silly, and the most handsome man on the planet, Joel from Flippin' Out. But I digress. They had a few games set up for us, 4 games, in the factory, and they put them in a perfect lighting position. As you notice, they are not super lit. They don't have lights blasting on them and anything, because these games will probably shine best in a dark to mid to dark arcade. If you look at the package, the art package, the UV lighting, the way the general illumination hits the table, the inserts, this game screams Navi when it's not being flooded with too much light. They also had all the toppers, so the standard topper and the more advanced CE topper with the interactive screens. Think Mando on steroids for those things. But first, before we get to play, we get a tour of the factory. And our tour guide, we couldn't have gotten a better tour guide than Eric Mineur, who is a game designer at Jersey Jack, among other things. You might know him for Godfather, Pirates of the Caribbean, Guns N' Roses, a well-seasoned game designer and actually a game developer, builder of things. Beautiful playfield, so he got to show us all the neat things, the parts, the sea of parts needed to make one pinball machine is insane. So here are some of the lower play fields in the game, and Eric was cool enough to show us. He pulled a couple of parts off and showed us like some ramps and the way they were constructed and what they did to fix certain things. Here's your Sea Crab feature lower play field that features small flippers and a small ball. And of course we have amp suit action. Stab, stab, stab. Seeing these games laid out on their rotisseries makes you appreciate the level of complexity in this particular game, especially. There are so many shots in this game, it's insane. So after a really fun and interactive, I must say, tour of the factory, we then went over to, later that evening, Interium, where Jersey Jack, as you can see, has a bunch of their games set up, including an Avatar that was, I think, the first on location. So we all went over, had some pizza and some sliders, and I think Mr. Mark Seiden himself stepped up to Avatar and proceeded to put 1 billion up on ball 1, but I think he knows a little bit about this game, so I think he has a little bit of a head start. All in all, I had a great time at Jersey Jack, and I met a bunch of cool friends. So let's get to the nitty-gritty of the game. How does it shoot? Well, it shoots amazing. There are so many shots on the table. It would be, you could go a full game and not hit certain shots and then go to the next game and go, whoa, which is exactly what I did. There's a little turnaround shot somewhere that I didn't even know that I could make. There's the scramp, which is, I guess, a scoop and a ramp combination that lets you dive into the game to go to the first lower play field, then go to the second lower play field, and then come back out, which is kind of cool. I did notice that it played a little easy, and I think it's because they have them set up in a certain way at the factory so that they could get through some of the game, and maybe they set it up a little easy so that the media guys could see more of the game as it went through. But Mark assured me that there are settings, as you know, in every pinball machine, and Jersey Jack creates these sets of settings that you could set for your arcade. So if you want it to be tough, you just go into the settings and say difficult, and it'll change all the other settings that it would apply to difficult. Or if you have it at home, you can set it to easy so that the kids could flip and see a lot of Pandora and a lot of Avatar. Now I know what you're going to ask. You pinheads out there are going to be like, how are the flippers? Do the flippers work? Are they crap? I got to tell you, the flippers work just fine. They feel like the flippers from Elton John. In fact, Jack Danger showed up at one point in the evening and proceeded to play the game for, I kid you not, like 45 minutes. And GC'd the game at like 1.3 billion points. It was part of a 4-player game, so you had at least, for the entire night, the game shot just fine. And that was us beating the hell out of it. Now, of course, it's one game, right? But the flippers held up the entire time. I also want to say, once again, I'm floored at Leah Faskey's artwork and design on the table, the reimagining kind of comic book version of the Na'vi. And also I want to give a shout to Grant Henry, and I'm a sound guy, and this is one I want to put on headphones and play because it reminds me, the other time I heard a sound package this good was Jaws, and the soundtrack and the art and the call outs and the sound effects in Jaws was amazing. This one is just as amazing, if not better. It just puts you into that world of Avatar. But definitely make it harder. Make the game harder, because if I'm blowing it up, it's not hard enough. I'm just saying. For more of my thoughts, I did sit down with my buddy Erica right after we finished touring the factory, and we gave our opinion of what we felt at that moment. So if you want to go check that out, I suggest you go over to Erica's Pinball Journey channel right here on YouTube and take a look at that. That should be interesting. Outside of that, I just want to say thank you so much to Jersey Jack for flying me out and letting me take a look at your awesome game. I also want to thank my Patreons at patreon.com/MPT3K for your support. If you would also like to support me, well, there's the link. And you guys keep me going. You guys paid for lunch, really, on the way out there and stuff like that. So I appreciate it. Keep me going. Also, if you're interested in more content from me, well, I stream on Twitch. Mostly Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays of every week. Sometimes on a Monday, I will stream from the Pacific Pinball Museum, which is one of my other favorite homes here in the Bay Area. And that's about it. So thank you once again for Jersey Jack for bringing me out and letting me check out your super, super cool game. And I guess I'll see you guys in the theater. Bye.